Hi there, I'm Scott Martineau, founder of Infusionsoft, and first I'd like to say welcome. We're excited to have you on board, and what I'd like to do is take a few minutes and give you an understanding on the whiteboard here of some of the very first things you should focus on as you get Infusionsoft implemented. If you can, grab a piece of paper and take some notes, because there's 4 things that I'm going to ask you to do as the most important things with getting Infusionsoft set up. So first I'd like to take you through a diagram of the way small businesses typically run. First, we all do some sort of advertising to turn suspects into leads. Then, as we nurture these leads, they become hot prospects. And we take our hot prospects, and all of us have some system of selling. You may not have a sales team, but somehow, maybe it's through your website or through your retail storefront or your office, appointments at your office, you convert those hot prospects into customers. And then as you wow your customers, you create repeat customers. And this is all wonderful, and when we do this properly, we create success in our small business. Now the problem is that along the way, we experience what we call here in Infusionsoft follow-up failure. Now follow-up failure happens because, well, for a lot of reasons. One, because we're small businesses and we don't have money to just throw at hiring new bodies, and so we end up not doing this. But let's talk about what happens when we do that. If you look at your leads and hot prospects in this conversion process, statistically, we know that it takes at least 7 contacts with a prospect before they even consider buying. The problem is that small businesses typically only will follow up with their leads and their hot prospects 4 times. 90% of small business leads are followed up 4 times or less before they're dropped and totally ignored. And what happened is, instead of hot prospects, we have cold leads, and instead of turning hot prospects into customers, we have unconverted prospects. So, and then down here, same thing. We have new customers that we sell, and it's so easy for our focus to go away from them and to not follow up with them. So instead of turning our customers into repeat customers, we have one-time customers. So let's talk about the solution to fixing follow-up failure. I think this should be the very first thing you focus on as you implement Infusionsoft. So the number one thing that I need you to focus on when you get set up is organization. Now, it's no wonder that some of this follow-up is difficult to do when you have all of your databases spread out in different places and you have different software systems, and all of these different people might be in different places. So the very first thing to do is to begin to use what we call tags to organize and segment your lists. So for example, if you have a newsletter opt-in form on your website, when the person fills out that form, you should tag them as a newsletter opt-in. When somebody then goes through the process and buys, let's tag them as a customer. And as you begin to segment all of these people in one single database, you start to be able to send out targeted campaigns to your prospects and customers. And without that, it's just impossible to make this happen. So number one thing is focus on your tags. Second thing is to implement follow-up sequences. And you know, after looking at Infusionsoft, that Infusionsoft automatically sends all of these follow-up messages for you: emails, letters, faxes, and voice broadcasts. And I want to talk about 3 follow-up sequences that you should focus on first. Okay, the very first thing is what I call a lead nurturing sequence. This is designed essentially to educate and prepare the leads to become a hot prospect. The second thing is a primary lead conversion sequence. Now this might be a free report that you offer with a follow-up promotion that you'll send out to people, and the whole purpose is to assist you in converting those prospects. And the third is a wowing welcome sequence. The wowing welcome sequence is used to send to brand new customers, and the goal is to create a wow experience. And this should be fairly easy to do because so many of your customers right now don't have a wow experience when they go and deal with other businesses. So I hope this gives you an understanding of what we're talking about when we say fixing follow-up failure. And just to recap, I want you to focus on tags and on the 3 sequences: a lead nurturing sequence, a primary lead conversion sequence, and your wow and welcome campaign. Now when you get into Infusionsoft the first time, you'll see a link that has a link called Sample Sequences and Sample Emails and Templates. We've got a bunch of example content in the application that you can use to tweak instead of having to start from scratch. So take a look at that and make this be the focus as you get running in Infusionsoft. Welcome, have a great time. We look forward to doubling your business.